All right. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you so much for your patience this morning as we are live right now on YouTube. I know there was a bit of a challenge this morning, but here's what. Let's go. If you are chiming in on YouTube, feel free to connect and say hello and say where you're coming from. I'm just going on. I have to do this. I have to what has happened? The software I was using was not working well, so I just had to jump on otherwise. So let me just get a live link here and let me just share it on Facebook at this point in time. And say hello and say where. Right. So let me just share this to Facebook so that others can see that we are live and join in. So bear with me at this point in time. So I trust that we get that going there, and I will try my very best to pay attention to the chat from another area. All right. So let's go. So let me see if I could probably do a live here once. I'm just, readjusting things at this point in time. So here we go. Right, so let's go. Hello, good morning again. Once again, everyone. I am Leonie Sousa, and I'm really delighted to have each and every one of you here with me this morning. Again, I had a bit of technical challenges this morning, but here's what. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I had to shift things around, relocate myself, and so that we can get going this morning. So this morning, parents, students, and all of my listening audience, I'm going to be delving into distractions. Distractions are stealing your success. Yes, students, distractions are stealing your success. And parents, it is stealing their success. All right, so here's how you can take back control of your life, of your situation. Good morning once again, everyone. I am Leonie Sousa. I am delighted to be here with you this beautiful sunshiny Saturday morning, hailing from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to those of you who are live with me here on YouTube. Those of you who are live here with me on Facebook, thank you so much for your patience and thank you so much for joining me. This morning, again, I am Leonie Sousa. I'm a life coach and motivational speaker, and I'm also a mentor. And I work with students to help them gain clarity in terms of their focus. They gain clarity in terms of whatever they're going to do, clarity of focus. They also gain consistency and build confidence as we move through and as they move through and navigate their existence here. Because whatever I'm sharing here with you, whatever I'm sharing, teaching you this morning, you can take this and apply it throughout your life, even as an adult, okay? Now, the thing about it is that in this session, I am really going to deal with these distractions because many of the students, I've spoken to the students, I get distracted really often, really quick, and, I can't focus on that sort of thing, all right? And I could tell you, based on my experience and maybe your experience as well, sometimes it is the thing that we say we want, we don't want it as bad as we think, as we should. All right, because I believe if you really want to achieve a particular thing, you have to be able to withstand some of the challenges that come your way and search and find tools so that you could deal with it. I recall as a secondary school student, yes, I had distractions too. Distractions don't really stop. But the thing about it is that when you write your goals, and we did goal setting a couple of times already and looking at SMART goals, one of the thing that really helps us go after it and keep at bay the majority of distractions is actually when we have a burning desire for it. When we have a burning desire for it. And sometimes I know even when we have that burning desire, we do fall short at times. All right. So, okay, let's take it that you have the burning desire. You really want to improve your grades because you didn't like the kind of grades, the quality of the grades that you got at your midterm, nor last term. So let's look at this. Students, again, distractions, they are stealing your success. Let's dive into how we can take back control. And yes, I'm using two different devices, so please excuse me when I'm going left to right this morning, all right? So students, why are you distracted? And I sort of hinted before, why are you distracted? Feel free to write out in the chat, why are you distracted? Why are you distracted? The thing is, one of the reasons, and I mentioned it before, is that perhaps, just perhaps, your goals are not strong enough. Your why you're doing what you want to, what you're doing is not strong enough. And I'll delve into that in a private session with you. But let's look at distractions. Distractions can actually be in two ways. It can be external and it can be internal. It can be outside of you and within you. Yes, that's how our distractions can be at times. Now, when we talk about the external distractions, we're talking about things like social media, noise, and people. Yes, social media, noise, and people. That's just a few examples. All right, that's just a few examples. Internally, on the other hand, the distractions can be us just overthinking things. It can be stress, and it can be a lack of motivation as well. All right. So when we have an understanding of whether it's internal or external, we can now address these distractions. Let me share this with you. Maybe this has happened to you, and I mean, it has happened to me as well. Have you ever, all right, have you ever opened a book to study, right, and end up scrolling through your phone, in particular, let's say TikTok or even Instagram? Yes, it has happened to you before. Feel free to make a comment in the chat below. Yes. All right. Yes. And the thing about it, whilst some of this here, while some of these are distractions, it becomes a distraction because you allow it to take your attention away from your main focus. And that's why it's a distraction in particular. Now, why distractions steal your success? Well, distractions steals your success. And everybody says success because they waste your time. It breaks your focus, as mentioned before, and it make the tasks that you have to do feel even more difficult. Yeah, that's what really happens. All right, they waste your time, it breaks your focus, as well as it makes the task that you have to do feel a little more difficult than absolutely necessary. So how are we going to deal with these distractions? How can we deal with these distractions? How can we eliminate it? Well, based on your desire, you're going to make ways and find strategies to really deal with it. One of the ways that we could do that is to create a fortress. Create a study fortress, students. Parents, help your child or you yourself can help them, create that quiet fortress for studies. Find that quiet space. Make sure the space is free from distraction, meaning there's no phone, there's no television or any unnecessary noise around. Right, parents, one of the things we spoke about before is creating that environment, creating that space so that when your child sits to study, he or she can focus a lot better. All right. So if you have not done that already, what I want you to start thinking about, parents and students, start identifying that one place. Start identifying that one place where you can study distraction free. That's just one thing. Now, here's what happens. And that takes me into the second way we could eliminate those distractions. What we want to do is to use a 3-minute rule. A 3-minute rule. Let me explain. And let's start with the temptation. Have you ever been tempted to check your phone whilst you're supposed to be studying? Yes. When that temptation comes up, what I want you to do is pause. All right? Just wait it out. Yes, just wait it out. Right? Wait it out. Wait for that 3 minutes, because most of the time the distraction absolutely fades away when you don't give it to it immediately. All right, even if it's a cell phone or your phone rang or you want to check a message or you not remember, I have to check an email. You wait 3 minutes, deal with what you have to do, and do that one thing that you need to be doing. Focus on that one thing. Forget about the temptation to check the phone. All right, and after a while, you're going to find that the temptation to check your phone when you sit and you're going to be studying, it dwindles. It becomes almost non-existent. I have to study, and this is what I have to do at this point in time. All right. Another thing that you can use is to set up some triggers to help you focus. And one of the things that I actually do, I have alarms on my phone, and my alarms play a specific type of sound or music that will actually get me in the groove for if I have to read or if I have to study something, and that helps set the whole idea that now it's time to focus. All right, and actually that sends a specific signal to my brain, to your brain, to say, okay, time to get focus, time to read, time to write. Joining in, please. We are looking at distraction. We are talking about how distractions actually steal our success, and we're looking at ways to eliminate those distractions and regain our control. All right, so we're going into the fourth one now. So we spoke about creating a study fortress using a 3-minute rule, and then you set up triggers to help get you in that whole mood for actually studying. All right, another example is that you can chunk your time. So I know for many of us, many of the students, you're trying to become a little more disciplined in your ability to sit down to study. So some students have exams for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on your subject area. And some of the exams are 1 hour and 25 minutes, thereabout. So you want to be able to develop the ability to sit for that length of time and concentrate and focus. So perhaps you can start with chunking your time where you study for 25 minutes. You take a 5-minute pause so that you don't get burned out. But can I tell you that once you do this often enough, thank you so much for coming on, Denjon. It's really nice to have you here on Facebook. And for those of you who are listening live on YouTube, I thank you so much for being here as well. Now, as I said, chunk your time. 25 minutes, 5 minutes break. 25 minutes, 5 minutes break. Until you build that momentum. And next minute, you're going to be actually studying for more than an hour comfortably, right? I did that when I did that before when I was your age, and there were times I was studying like for 3 hours. Yes, you'd get up to, get some water and that sort of thing if necessary, but you want to develop that habit. You want to build that resilience and develop that ability to focus for that length of time, because you do need to. All right. So today, just try one session today using this method. All right. You could use that method. You chunk your time for today. Now, one of the other things I do is that some people say they turn their distractions into rewards, but I reward myself basically when I'm able to focus. So let's say instead of quitting distractions, schedule them as a reward. All right. And here's what I mean. For instance, you enjoy looking at those small clips or those videos or some movies and that sort of thing. You schedule in the time for you to do that. Schedule in the time. All right. If you want to watch Netflix, if you want to watch whatever movie, you schedule it in. And the only time you are going to watch that is if you would have accomplished your task that you gave yourself. All right. So you could pick a reward for completing a task today. All right. I already did mine. I was able to read all the chapters that I wanted to read for the week so far from a book called Think and Grow Rich that I'm reading. I've been able to accomplish my goals. So tomorrow I'm rewarding myself because I did the work. I put in the work. So once you put in the work, reward yourself. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Which distraction is hardest for you to control? I'm asking you a question. Which distraction do you find most difficult to control? Is it your phone? Is it TV? Or something else? Just drop a comment there. Just drop a comment saying, what is it that is the hardest for you to control? All right. If I'm not seeing the chat right about now, but I'm going to check on it and I'm going to reply later. So basically, today we looked at 5 tips, and I like to say that there's a bonus tip there, right? One of the 5 tips that you have is to create a study fortress. Make sure you have a really nice environment that you could sit in, that is breezy, it's windy. You can always check one of my other YouTube videos where I spoke about how the environment should be for studying. You're going to use the 3-minute rule. You're going to wait out that 3 minutes. When you sit to do your work or sit to do reading, and you remember that you need to do, yes, your phone, yeah. I know about the phone very well then, Sean, right? So you want to take that 3 minutes. So you remember you need to do something. If it's not super urgent, you leave it alone. And you take note, when I'm completing my study, then I go and I get that done. All right, then you want to set up your focus triggers. What do you want to help you to focus? Is it a particular song you want to hear? Is it a particular music? I like to listen to some Mozart when I'm reading. Any instrumental that helps really relax me. I like to listen to those when I'm reading. So you're gonna find that is very important to me. Then you want to chunk out your time. Hi, Janelle. Thank you for joining me. You want to chunk your time, as some of us, we are now starting as students the discipline of sitting and studying. Remember, many of you have exams for an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. You want to start developing that discipline and that ability to focus for a longer period of time. And you could do that by chunking your time. So 25 minutes, you're going to go hard for, 5 minutes break. 25 minutes, you're going to study for, 5 minutes break. And then you can increase that time to half an hour or 45 minutes. You do it based on your desire, because at the end of the day, you have to sit for 3 hours or more for an exam. So you want to start developing, working on that from now. And finally, all right, you want to turn your distractions into rewards, or you want to reward yourself, in other words, for accomplishing tasks that you would have set for the week. All right. So for me, I've read the chapters that I'm required to read for this week already. So I am going to give myself my reward tomorrow evening. Yes, I'm going to give myself that reward tomorrow evening. I also rewarded myself yesterday because of other tasks I was able to complete. So here's what I am smiling like that because, and I tell you, I really happy that I was able to complete those tasks. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, but I want to encourage you to really work on yourself, really work at it. Now, there's a workbook that should be available from Monday. If you are interested in getting that workbook, which is free, which is a distraction detox worksheet, not workbook, but worksheet, feel free to just drop in the comment, distraction detox. All right, and I'll send that worksheet for you so that you can actually, I'll send the link so you can actually download it so you could implement what I would have spoken about today. All right, so remember distraction detox, just type it in there and I'll send you the link so that you can download by Monday. All right, if not Monday earlier. All right, so here's what, if you are serious about improving your focus and your grades, book a coaching call, book a coaching session with and you get your own personalized strategies. We actually delve so deep, so much deeper into this whole thing about distraction that you begin. I've seen some of my clients got the aha moment because they recognize and they understand why the distraction has such an impact on them. So again, I want to encourage you. Distractions may be stealing your success today, but you have the power to take it back because you've got greatness in you. Yes, and you owe it to yourself. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening. I am Leonie Stuse, and I'm delighted to always be sharing here with you on YouTube and on Facebook here this morning. Thank you so much for your patience. Have a beautiful Saturday. Thank you for coming on, everyone. Bye for now.